Have everybody's attention now.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at two. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Right, welcome to another episode of Kick Hours at 2. I'm Jay.
I'm PK.
And today we're going to be... There's no specific topic. It's no holds barred, no DQ, falls count anywhere, whatever we want to talk about.
Boiler room brawl.
Yeah, we're going to just shoot the shit and talk about... Because that's how this started.
Some cowboy shit.
Yeah, this started because me and you just talked about whatever the fuck we wanted for 3 hours on a road trip, and all we talked about was fucking wrestling. So we haven't done that in a little while, and some shit's happened. But if at the time of this recording, WrestleMania 38 is just 6 days behind us, and I'm furious.
I've not even watched it.
I've not watched it, but you know the archetypal points that have happened, the things that have the bookmarks within it, as it were. So if I was to say to you, as I did before, but then we didn't go deeper,
it's that bad.
Yeah.
A non-wrestling fan that I work with told me what happened.
There you go.
It was that bad.
Are we talking about the stunner?
Well, just all the different sections.
Yeah. The stunner heard around the world is... that's the first thing I want to talk about, is... I was told by a non-wrestling fan, did you see Austin's stunner, Vince? And I was like, no, I don't want to watch Austin's stunner and like an 80-year-old Vince. And he went, oh, mate, it's the worst. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, right, and shrugged it off as whatever. I went, no, he couldn't stunner him. And I went, I don't know, what do you mean he couldn't stunner him? Like, he wasn't allowed? Or I went, no, he tried. He couldn't get hold of him. I was like, I don't know what you mean.
But it's like trying to get a 80-year-old man in a headlock. It's not... It shouldn't be done.
But it should be easy to do.
Well, not if he's trying to,
But Vince is like such a perfectionist. I don't get how the guy who's been stunned probably more than anyone on the roster right now fucked up being stunned.
He should have just, faked tearing his quads or something, just anything just to get out of it.
It's if you've not watched it, it's really hard to watch.
Don't watch it.
Yeah, don't watch it.
If you're a wrestling fan, don't watch it. I didn't understand what they meant by he couldn't stunner him, but he can't. You can see Austin is laughing at the end of it, like going, "What a piece of shit that was." And kind of Austin is kind of like, basically,
"I don't care. I'm still gonna."
This.
Yeah, and I think Austin's still thinking like, out of the two of us, who looks stupid? You did, and you again, and I'm gonna get paid. And I'm still going to go down as a fucking legend.
Yeah.
But it's still like... But that to me sums up a lot of like fucking WrestleMania stuff.
I am really proud to see Mark Henry and Mae Young's kid
at
WrestleMania.
Yeah. He sent me the giant fucking hand.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that was that in the Logan Paul? No, in the Jackass. Basically, that match, from what I can tell, I haven't watched any of the matches, just clips. From what I could gather, it was like...
It's that bad that
Who wrestled him? I don't know who wrestled... It was Johnny Knoxville versus... I don't know who he wrestled, because it was overshadowed by the fact that, like, Wee Man came out, they got the giant hand, I think they got someone else from Jackass to come out. It just became like... I think Wee Man suplexed someone or body slammed someone.
Yeah, I think because I've seen it more through memes than I've.
Yeah, exactly. But I remember just looking at that lineup, going, "Oh, Johnny Knoxville's going to wrestle. That's what I wanted to watch." No, it's not. Not at all. That's what you want. And the showcase of the Immortals: Johnny Knoxville and Logan Paul. Although Logan Paul has apparently won a lot of people over by the fact he can actually wrestle, but.
I don't buy any of it, no.
Well, I mean, you can't deny if you can actually do Three Amigos and do it, you can wrestle. But what the point is, who wants to watch Logan Paul?
At a push, I could probably do Three Amigos. Depending on my opponent.
Which, well, let's Wee Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, sound then.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
in case you don't realise this, we don't watch modern WWE. Well, I don't. Do you sometimes watch it? I feel like every so often I speak to you, and you have mentioned you've watched a bit. I don't know why you do.
It's like, I don't know. It's like
returning to an abusive girlfriend.
Yeah, because you think of the good times and like you think, oh, it was really good, and then you go back, you just sort of dip your toe in the water and go, no, stop, get away.
No, it's not like that anymore.
No, it's not. No.
I can't get over the camera angles, man. You know when?
Well, yeah, because we were watching the Cody segment before, and it just looked like, like body cam footage where like someone's trying to break into a
and it's just like right up in his face, and then like if someone does a move, it zooms in and out like that, and it always knocks me nauseous. It's like I want to watch the match.
Usually even with promos and stuff like that, they still usually have more of a wide camera than.
I feel like that's a very 90s thing to do, is to go up like that and dead close, because they didn't have as advanced lenses, so make this kind of like cool curve, like a load of like late 90s skate punk videos with the guys right up in the camera.
Well, it's just the fisheye lens, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like fisheye effect, but they can't do the fisheye effect, but it's like no one told Vince to back the camera the fuck up.
Yeah, and now we've got HD, like Super H4.
So in fact, being that close is,
you can literally see every wrinkle and pore and the makeup line on his hair and stuff like that, and like, you can almost to like the week he bleached his hair, you can see the tiny.
Vince looks like, in HD, Vince looks like, when you see the 10 worst waxworks around the world, he looks like one of them of himself. Like he
looks like Gandhi's flip flop.
Yeah, he just looks. Oh, he looks decrepit. The pink roads in the room. Should we talk about that? Because I have really like a view on Cody going to WWE. I made you watch the promo afterwards, because I didn't even know what your view was. I'd be interested to know, without me showing my deck of cards, what's your view on A, him going, and B, then what happened of him going? So the idea of him going, and then followed with the actual implementation of it.
See, because I only started AEW about 8 months ago.
That's fine.
That Cody, I think, had his sort of
heyday,
come down, and then was on his way back up when you had more talent coming in, like Malachi Black and stuff like that.
And Braniel Danielson.
Yeah, but then by that point, I think he'd got them mentally wanted.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if because the way he was treated in WWE, he was just made a mockery of for years. But even though, pardon me, he had a really good run with the whole mask thing. I can't remember who it was with, but that was good. And then it went into Stardust, which could have been good.
It could have been, but it wasn't.
They played it so bad. Like,
Well, it's like they wanted to. I feel like when I've watched like documentaries and stuff about it, it is like they wanted to bury it like we were meant to bury it. Like I hate like hearing this.
They did the same thing they did with Big Show.
Yeah,
where they just kind of made a mockery of him, and it's like, you've had such a hard worker for so many years who's like part of such a good family of wrestlers, like Dusty and like Dustin, like Goldust and stuff, and you just turn him into like.
Well, this is right. So this is an interesting hour to go off on a little bit of a tangent. I have been listening to. There's a podcast where the guy who plays Brother Love tells like loads of wrestling stories, and he swears down. Although I trust him about as much as a spin doctor, he swears down there is no such real thing as a rib, like in wrestling. Like he's like, no, Dusty Rhodes was given polka dots because Vince genuinely thought it was one of his ideas. Where it's like, I want him to stand out for all the right reasons. He needs an original costume, polka dots. He'll really polka dots, and they're like, why polka dots? It's like, we don't do polka dots. He'll be the only one with them. And he insists and his argument was, why would you spend X amount of money on a character or a wrestler as a sports entertainer, to only put them down because you're only hurting your own business. And I was listening going, this is almost a good argument. But then you see stuff and you're like, because exactly, why do you do that? Because you clearly fucking do, because you've got the money to do it and you've got the chip on your shoulder.
There's a fine line between genius and insanity.
Yeah.
And he is like tethering on that line constantly.
Vince. Yeah.
Because but I think for him it's a win-win. Either way, he gets rid of someone he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Or it goes over that way.
Like Goldust. Goldust is a perfect example of it. He meant to kind of rib him.
Yeah.
And you know what? He took the character, ran with it, and made it work.
So either way, Vince has won. He either gets rid of someone who's shit, or makes them a star.
Or he takes care of someone. He gets someone out of the business that he doesn't want any other promoter to get any good work out of, because it's like ruining their good name. I don't know what I can do with you, but if I get rid of you and make it so you can't work for anyone else, that's less competition for me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, he's done that in the past with other wrestlers. And Cody is one of them. But, right. So Cody's been one of them, treated like shit, gave him the Stardust character, leaves, does the indie circuit for a little bit, then forms and helps birth AEW.
Yeah.
Gets to the point where, he's, one of the top draws, and he's, okay, by the end of his run, there's mixed reactions, because, let's be honest, the crowd want him to turn heel. He's refusing to turn heel. And then he leaves. And he goes back to WWE. How did you feel about that? Was it the right call?
I don't know yet. It's well too early to say.
I don't think it is. No, sorry. This is where I get annoyed. I don't think it is.
It depends what happens now.
Yeah, but it's always going to be what happens now. This is what I said.
Because
the whole point of him coming out was a great moment. That WrestleMania moment is a very good moment. And coming out, Seth Rollins, great match, beats him. It's immediately, once it's done, it's in the past, and now they've got to deal with him.
But WWE, see, the thing with AEW is, it's more sort of let to do it, as in everything progresses more naturally
and slowly. Kenny Omega likes that about
either
storyline.
Slowly, naturally, or it feels like the wrestlers have a lot more control over how their characters are and stuff like that. Where WWE can drop storylines immediately without even it making sense.
Yeah,
and there's that much going on, and they've got that many stories here and there that you don't even realise. And I just hope that doesn't happen with Cody.
Well, this is right.
He just goes back down to mid card, or even within a year.
I know, because here's how I look at it. Right, there's two roads, no pun intended. There's two roads he can take.
Is he at a crossroads?
He's at a crossroads. He either becomes the champion, or he doesn't. Right. If he doesn't become the champion...
That's every wrestler.
Right, okay, yeah, but hear me out on this. So if he doesn't become the champion, what a waste of a fucking whole move and a whole segment. If he does become the champion, why has he become the champion? Is it deserved? Or is it Vince going...
Well, there you go.
Vince going, I'm going to make you the champion, not because you deserve it, not because you're one of the best wrestlers, but to stick it to AEW, and then it's not really a deserved title. It's not
exactly. That's what I mean by the whole moving. It's it's like saying having a job you don't like but you get paid well.
Mm-hmm.
Going finding a really awesome job and then going, I actually just rather I kind of need the money.
Yeah.
And going back to it, even though you get treated like shit, but the money's better.
What I just don't get as well is, I think if he hadn't have made AEW, I'd get it. It's I want a raise, give me a raise.
Yeah, if you smashed it...
Okay, I'm going to go make myself worth that, and then it's like going off and getting a degree, going off and making it, going to university, but getting a master's, getting a PhD, coming back, going, now I'm worth this much. Yeah, you're right, kid, you've gone and done the work.
I think...
But he would have made his own fucking wrestling company.
If he didn't do AEW, and say if he went to New Japan...
Yeah.
Or Ring of Honor, and then, I don't like the term, but say mastered his craft more and built up more of a character that way, I don't think anyone would have noticed.
Yeah. It would have been just what you did.
Yeah.
But he just because he's so in the spotlight, and he also made a big deal of taking the piss out of WWF, like the whole smashing the Triple H chair.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I think it surprised me that he seemed so against WWE after what they did to him.
Yeah.
To then go back, I was a bit more confused. Not like, oh, he deserves. I wasn't behind him moving, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I felt that like.
I thought this was got a big work. I thought he was going to come back at like whatever the next AEW pay-per-view is in May. I thought it was going to be like he shows up like he did at WrestleMania. He's back and everyone will go. He'd get the biggest pop and it'd still be the big reaction, the big mixture. But everyone's missed him now, and now everyone's all in.
What would be more funny if he just did WrestleMania? And then was like
Forbidden Door shit.
Yeah.
I would have accepted that.
I don't think Vince would for 1 second let him do it, but come back, do that, and then be like, and then go back to AEW.
It just reminds me, right? Because this is the other bit that annoyed me. The little storyline they're doing is that he's saying, "Oh, it was always my dream to put the belt in my dad's hand," and his dad's obviously the American Dream. But that dream is, and it's the words he says. He goes, "That dream died." I read into that in 2 statements. That dream died as if in my ability to do that. And literally, that dream died. That man died, right?
The dream died.
Yeah. He goes, but I can still do it. I was like, no, hold on. Why would you want to do this? Why would you want to win the belt for of the company? For a company that screwed your dad and wouldn't let you do it when he was alive? Your dream, you just told me, your dream is to put the belt in your dad's hand. That company literally stole that dream from you. They literally helped kill that dream.
That's what I mean. That's why I don't.
So why are you going back and helping them? It's the most bizarre move. I can't wrap my head around it other than money. I can't.
That's it. That's the only.
It's money.
To me, that's.
But there's a much more legendary route. If he'd stuck at AEW, he could have been this amazing 50-50 heel.
He was respected more there, and it didn't matter what he did. Like, everyone enjoyed.
Yeah.
Like,
that last
you
match.
won't see the same matches you'll get. You won't see the same matches in WWE as you did in AEW with Cody. It'll be different. It'll be more PG. It'll be more
family friendly.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope it goes well for him, but I just feel like it's kind of. Oh.
Although I did see someone put up a very good thing where it was like that meme of that guy going, "I'll trade you this, you give me this," and it's a list of all the wrestlers WWE have lost, and then you get Cody Rhodes. I was like, you know what? Why is anyone really complaining here?
Yeah.
It's one guy when they've got. I mean, it's one thing I like about AEW. People say, "Oh, get lost in the shuffle," but I disagree. I think people are too busy remembering where wrestlers were working like 280, 300 days a year. Always got to be the Vince going, "Oh, you got to be always in the limelight." And I'm currently watching. In case you haven't got this, I feel like Chris Jericho repeating that they have square poles at the side of it.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm sick of hearing that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm Chris Jericho repeating that statement. I am watching WWE, and one thing I've noticed in rewatching it through the 2000s is literally every Raw or SmackDown, it's kind of the same 3 matches. You get Rock versus Triple H in some way. You get Too Cool versus the Radicals in some way. And there's someone else. There's some other 2 that are really rivaling and fighting off at each other at the moment. But it's just different combinations each time. And it's it's the DX. It's fucking New Age Outlaws and some other tag team.
Yeah.
But it's constant, and there's no talk about lost in the shuffle. You don't see any of the other wrestlers at all. Well, I think AEW goes like, right, this week will be all about you guys, but then this week will be about you guys, and we're going to slowly build up your story. And when your story's done, you get to go on holiday. You can have a break, unless you want to stay in the limelight more. But we're going to give you, and then we'll give you the chance to come back. Because people already complain about Keith Lee's in the background, but I think Keith Lee just wants to earn his stripes over there.
He's done a couple of jobber matches to say hello, and then now he's like in.
Well, he was in one of the events of the last pay per view.
Well, yeah, in there,
and now he's in a rivalry with
Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks.
Yeah, which
that was, for those watching on camera. That's my Ricky Starks impression. Or did you think I was doing a really shit Keith Lee?
I couldn't tell.
It is a mixture of the both. They are similar. He does that and he does that. So yeah.
Yeah, it is just that one hand thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like how AEW mixes it up. I don't know what I'm gonna see.
See, what I like about AEW is you get your say like Darby Allin and Butcher and the Blade, like a 20-minute match to open it.
Yeah.
And you don't get that in WWE. It literally starts crap, slightly better, finish.
Oh well, that we watched the Cody Rhodes promo, which we were just talking about. That was 10 minutes long. That segment, at least. We didn't even include his intro.
Yeah,
that was the first thing that happened on Raw. So the first 15 minutes of Raw was that no wrestling. It's not 1998. It's not 1999 anymore. We want to see a fucking match.
Yeah, where AEW is a 2-hour show and an hour show, and you just get decent, good matches. You know what I mean?
Eve calls Rampage the little bitch show because it's too short for her. She's like, it needs to be 2 hours like Dynamite.
No, I see.
I disagree. I think it's the fastest hour in wrestling, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, but it really depends what matches are on for me. Because if I'm not interested, I just won't watch it.
Yeah,
and I'm perfectly happy with that because I've not missed anything. I'll flick through it. I'm trying to be a bit more sort of
open-minded
in terms of now we're doing this and talking about it more and stuff like that. I'm trying to, be more open-minded by it and get into more wrestlers instead of just watching the people I like. And, more people are surprising me when I actually watch them. So
you're being like one of those normies who used to watch the Attitude Era back in the late 90s who just only knew Stone Cold and The Rock. You're not getting into any of the deep AEW lore.
Yeah, no, I'm only watching WrestleMania once a year.
Do you know that, speaking of like getting lost in the shuffle, obviously Brian Cage just like disappeared from AEW and everyone was like, he'll be the first one to leave and come out and be like, give a like bad record of, I was treated like shit. He renewed his contract.
Really?
Yeah, he's renewed his contract and everyone's like, okay, didn't see that coming, and he's still not been on telly since like August of last year. They're paying him, and he's happy to take the pay. I don't know what they're planning with him, but
he's not even been on dark matches.
He's not been on. He's not been on anything ever since he lost that match against Ricky Starks for the FTW. And then he comes back. He has that reaction where Ricky Starks celebrates. He comes out. They get in a little bit of scuffle, and then they tell him to fuck off. He has fucked off, but everyone thought they don't know what to do with him and they're just going to get rid of him. No, they've renewed his contract, but still haven't seen. I like Brian Cage as well, and I just think he's like this big hulk of a man who can do. Again, it's just mad what he can do. But yeah, there's loads of wrestlers like that where people think that they're not happy, but they fucking are. They love it over there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, I just feel that. Like Tony Khan to Vince McMahon, Tony Khan's just like, yep, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I trust you.
Yeah, here's some money. You do what you need to do.
You know what you never hear? You never see the headline, Tony Khan last minute changes outcome of match, because that's all you see about Vince. Vince just literally last minute before they go live. I hate this. Let's change it.
I think it's not a very nice thing to say. Once Vince passes, I think WWE will then change direction. I don't know what direction. I think it'll be different, and I would like to see what happens.
Will it, or has it got shareholders that are so powerful that maybe that's why Vince pulls in all these weird ass directions?
I think it's never going to be as
free as
free as AEW, but I just like I said, it'll be different. I'm sure it'll just go down a different route once he passes because he just micromanages everything.
Well,
to the point of what they can say, what they can wear. Like I was reading the other day that CM Punk lost the title to Undertaker in the Hell in a Cell match that lasted 7 minutes because he questioned the they're only allowed a certain wardrobe attire. But John Cena's jorts. He questioned them and they weren't happy about it, so he had his title taken off him.
Yeah, fucking Punk had the worst Like, you can hit the stories Punk tells. It sounds like fucking horrible what they did to him. They also didn't capitalise on, like, the summer of Punk at all. And it was almost like they went, oh, this is working for us. Okay, we've got enough publicity out this, bury him.
Yeah.
Even though they did give him the longest run, but that's, 6 and 2 threes. What else was I going to talk about? AEW on the whole has just been lovely to watch. Oh, Ring of Honor got bought by Tony Khan, and I'm going to start watching Ring of Honor because I've been told I should.
Yeah.
And they opened up with a pay-per-view, a 3-hour-long pay-per-view. At the time of recording, I haven't watched it, but I've been told it was very good, apparently.
Well, I was watching bits of Ring of Honor because I knew some of the wrestlers from Ring of Honor were moving to AEW.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I just did. So for those listening, I just did the Danhausen pose. By the way, that's why.
Danhausen and Brody King as well.
Yeah.
I started then watching some.
Samoa Joe's just landed.
Yeah, he's landed as well. But yeah, I've been watching quite a lot of Brody King. There's a really good match. What is it now? PWG, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's one with Brody King and Walter, and one of Brody King and Jungle Boy, and they're both awesome matches. Like they start doing like a slaps competition, like
with Walter.
Walter and Brody are both big guys.
Oh, Walter's got the hands. That's the son of Mae Young and fucking Mark Henry.
That is Walter. Yeah.
It's fucking Walter. That fucking slap, man.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Well, when they were doing the UK ones, like you could hear the reverberations of the slap across the UK.
There was a big hoo-ha, wasn't there? Because
he changed his name to Gunther.
They changed his name to Gunther, but I think he had a second name, and then there was a kick-off because he's been named after a German soldier who ran like a Nazi warship.
Oh God.
Did you not see what's his name? I don't know these wrestlers because I'm not into WWE. But that guy, what was the name of that guy who they introduced? Fucking Sheamus went, but you
Pete
might.
Dunne?
Nickname.
What was it?
Pete Dunne.
But you might know him as Butch. Oh my God! And then again, I don't know if it's because the camera being so close on him, it made the hat look smaller than it probably was. It just looked like a man who's been forced to dress as a child, dressed as a Second World War.
But the thing is, like, he
victim.
was the NXT UK champion for like over a year. Like, it wasn't like he's just a nobody that's just like been.
Well,
moved
Sheamus
up.
isn't a nobody. Why have they gone down this Peaky Blinders route with a bunch of wrestlers?
To be fair, though, the only very, very loose connection is the fact that Pete Dunne's from Birmingham.
Yeah.
So
Sheamus is from Ireland. Pete Dunne's from Birmingham. Who's the other guy?
I don't even know the other guy. I'll be
But
honest, I don't really know.
It's so painful to watch. Like, I've watched it multiple times, and each time I'm fairly
It's
certain.
just that segment
I can
on
see
SmackDown where he's going.
Yeah.
And it's just, I can't tell if he's being a character or if he's
or
just
he's fuming
genuinely pissed off.
that I've got to dress
He's
like
literally
this.
turned up and gone, right, here you go, you're a Shelby now.
Yeah. Again, listening to what's his name, but Brother Love, he insists that back in the day, back in the early 90s, back in the early 90s,
Might drop.
that the gimmicks were handed out not by like you come in and they finally write gimmick for you. That they had a box of gimmicks, and they literally just before you walked in. So you had a meeting. You're the 4 o'clock. I'm the 4:30. You're the 4 o'clock. Before you walk in, they reach into the box of gimmicks that Vince has come up with.
6 o'clock, aren't you?
Yeah, and they pull out, and it's Mr. Perfect. So you walk in, and they go, so for you, I've been thinking the Mr. Perfect role. You can be Mr. Perfect. And then they give it to you, even though he's not really thought about Kurt Hennig actually being Mr. Perfect. There's rumour that Pat Pattinson really pushed it, but Brother Love insists that it was literally just luck of the draw. Meanwhile, the person who came in the meeting after, you're going to be the Red Rooster. It's like, what the fuck? Why were you not just actually sitting down with people going, let's
Charles Wright just goes, Papa Shank, are you kidding me? Voodoo Doctor? Are you kidding me?
But it is mad. But it feels like they just did it again. Like, oh, you're going to come over from NXT. You're going to be... Oh, you got Butch. Now,
It's
this
like,
one,
you
this
could
got
just-
lost in the shuffle because we've only got 2 of them. We've been looking for this one. We thought it fell down the couch.
We just like... oh. He's got a character.
Yeah.
Why? But if you got time, watch. It's Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bates.
Right.
It's the
NXT.
NXT UK when that started a few years ago, and it's just brilliant wrestling matches, just straight up awesome. And going back to you talking about getting into Ring of Honor, there's our favourite Brian Danielson, Brambleson. Pardon me, Cesaro.
Oh, right.
When he was in Ring of Honor, not under Cesaro, can't remember his actual name.
I've seen he did have another name. I can't remember what it was either.
That match, absolutely flawless.
10 out of 10.
Just as a straight up grappling wrestling match is brilliant.
I've never seen Cesaro wrestle. I've never ever watched his. All I've seen is interviews with him, but I've never seen him wrestle.
Another WE guy that
they've got rid of. He's gone.
Yeah, but he was.
He'll probably come over. He'll come over to AEW this year. Or Ring of Honor.
Because he was crap on the mic. Then they couldn't get a character for him. They just
bury him.
No. Like, Ring of Honor, he was just a good wrestler, and that spoke for itself.
No, I'm looking forward to just a bit this Ring of Honor, the Tony Khan reboot, as it were, because I've heard a lot of good from it. A lot of good. Speaking of good wrestling, and to make it sound so we're not just 2 old men whining about the good old days, we went to see some good wrestling.
We did indeed.
We went to TNT in Liverpool.
Yeah.
The option was either record a podcast or go watch wrestling. So of course we picked
wrestling.
Of course, we went to watch It's Extreme Wrestling, and we saw some matches where I can't remember everyone's names.
So it was Big Fucking Joe.
Well, I remember Big Fucking Joe because I bought a Big Fucking Joe T-shirt.
Yeah.
Big Fucking Joe won.
I got his pin badge.
You got his pin badge.
Yeah,
it was a King of the Deathmatch tournament.
Yeah, King of the Deathmatch tournament.
He won.
Yeah. No.
Didn't he win?
He got to the final. He got to the final.
Yeah.
The other can't for the life of me remember his name.
No, I can't remember his name.
I know his theme music was Box Full of Sharp Objects, but he used... what's his name? No, it's going to really that.
There was another fella who I thought looked like... You know the guy with the fucking mad goggles and the big hair? I loved him, but I can never...
Cameron Solas?
Solas,
yeah.
So Cameron Solas, yeah. Check him out.
Yeah.
It was a very... Did he fight Big Joe? Was that one of the rounds?
I think so, yeah.
Because that was the best match of the night.
Yeah.
Because they got out into the crowd. They were smashing shit over each other. They were getting the crowd to Big Joe would tell them to hold Solas in place so he could smash a glass over his head. Solas did a fucking backwards moonsault off the fucking bar.
Off the bar, yeah.
And cracked a lamp on the way. Like he hit the roof as he did it because it was a very low roof venue. But yeah, and then they're walking past, they're dripping with blood, and it was just very good. And yeah, a really entertaining night. So I'd always recommend if you get a chance to go to TNT Wrestling in Liverpool or in
TNT
your area.
Extreme
Wrestling.
Extreme. But yeah, they were supposed to have a Alex Colin. Alex Colin from from Game Changer.
Lick my colon?
Yeah. I was thinking, right, that's not his name. I said it anyway.
We got to see what was she called? The
Session Moth Martina.
Session Moth Martina.
Yeah.
She had a good match with a guy who was about 7 foot tall.
Yeah, and she took a battering and battered him as well. It wasn't. I thought it might have been a bit of a squash match.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Like it was a good match.
And then she's been on AEW Dark since as well, which has been well made up for her because she was a lovely person.
Did she? Have you seen the match?
On AEW?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
she lost.
Right. I just wanted to know if she used the
music.
Theme. Yeah.
I think she uses.
What song is it?
I've watched a few. I tried to find her entrance to show someone, and she has. I think she has a different song each time.
Different dance song.
But from a dance song that's appropriate to that area.
So, like, if she was to be in Wigan, she'd do, like, a Wigan Pier party song.
Oh, fair enough.
Whereas if she went... I think she was in... I don't know where she was in AEW, but when I watched, like, of her in America, she found... If it was in Florida, I think, and it was, like, Flow Rider, and it was, like, this mad song.
Oh,
she
right,
goes with something big, like, chavvy in that area, and it... so everyone pops when she comes out and goes, oh, and gets the idea of who they're dealing with.
Yeah,
so,
she's entertaining. She's funny.
But yeah, we watched that, and then TNT also set up another nice night for us.
Yeah.
Along with Top Rope Brewery.
It sounded like it was personal.
Yeah.
They personally set it up for us.
We got to meet Scotty Too High.
Yeah.
And listen to his stories.
Yeah.
Which were fucking great, by the way. I am tempted. They're doing another one with D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about D'Lo Brown, but I am tempted because there was such a peek behind the curtain by stuff that Scotty said. I can see more of coming out from D'Lo. Like
I missed a lot of D'Lo stuff. Like it was again because of the time period he was in. You had to kind of be into them to like follow them, if that makes sense, because there was so much else going on.
Yeah,
he was kind of like, you know, Nation of Domination and stuff like that.
There was no internet as well. You can't just follow and like his page and get updates.
Yeah, that's a good point. That you had to follow him.
Yeah,
you know, episodically to understand what he was doing. So if you didn't focus on him, you know,
you lost him. You don't know.
Yeah, he was a good wrestler, but for me, I just don't.
It would be. I mean, it'd be a bit dark because it was him who essentially accidentally broke Droz's neck.
Yes.
So I imagine he'll probably talk about that, which Droz has always blamed himself for that as well, by the way.
Yeah,
They got the moves confused.
Well, apparently, I've been watching something else about that his t-shirt was too baggy.
Droz's?
Yeah.
Right.
And he went to grip and lost his grip. And
fell back.
And went back, yeah, so...
I don't even remember Droz wearing shirts in matches. He usually went topless. That's a bit weird.
I thought he wore like sort of a netted...
No. Oh, he did. No, he did it. He had to have a netted top as well.
Top.
You just see all them fucking tribalist tattoos for him.
Yeah, like, I think he was wearing that and...
It slipped. He falls
bit of
back.
A wardrobe malfunction and...
Well, fucking hell of a wardrobe malfunction.
I know, yeah.
But Scotty told, like, the most interesting thing is Scotty said, which I never even considered. Well, if you get a chance to see him do any kind of spoken word, he's never done one before. This was the first time he's ever done one. It was like it was natural to him.
Yeah.
He said some interesting stuff. Like, it's like he knew what questions to ask himself and what people wanted to hear. Rikishi turning heel. That was the most interesting part of the night because I didn't even think about Rikishi turning heel, how it affected him. And when he said, we didn't know until it happened. Like, the night they were doing it, like, oh, it's going to be Rikishi. And I go, what? Like, what a way. Like, it wasn't just a waste of... that entire storyline was a waste of so many good characters. Yeah. Rock goes heel when he's one of the most popular characters, just to make Austin the good guy. When, again, we've talked about... There was no clear good guy and bad guy sometimes, so why do that? Rikishi turns heel when he's part of the most popular trio, like, of that era.
It's like, say,
and then you lose...
Nowadays, it would be turning heel from New Day.
Yeah!
You know what I mean? It's just that sort of really...
bizarre, just, like, it made no sense. And then, yeah, it affected Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty Too Hotty because they were a power trio. They all needed each other to kind of bring them up, and without Rikishi they became kind of like a little bit sidelined because Rikishi became the main one that the story was about, and then they're not with Rikishi anymore, and it's funny to watch the fat man dance with the guys who think they're cool, but now it's just the guys who think they're cool dancing.
It's back to that circle we were
talking about
last episode,
oxygen, spark, fuel,
more sort of, it's that sort of
alignment of the
taking
planets.
the piss. That is it. Taking the piss, or is it that now cool? It's now.
Yeah.
It's so overlapping that you don't even know.
But then by making him serious, it ruins that entire shtick. And it was just like when he spoke about that and was going, we didn't even know it was happening. My mind blew. I was like, of course he didn't know it was happening. Of course the fucking pricks didn't tell you. Yeah. Oh, you know, I'm gonna wreck your whole career right now for the sake of a storyline which never goes anywhere.
which will be yesterday's news. And
yeah. I listened to a really interesting podcast about that. Who they went because it'd be interesting because you remember that entire run. Who would you have had? Who in the case of who shot JR, who would you have had of knocked down Steve Austin from that era?
Oh, God knows.
For it to make sense. Because this podcast came with a really good, nomination now. And you know what? It did make sense at the time. And it would have been better.
All my head is just going Maggie from The Simpsons. The episode where...
I really want to say Mae Young.
No, you know where... the full
who
Simpsons
shot
episode,
Mr. Burns.
Yeah, who shot Mr. Burns. The same thing. Honestly, I don't... It's all a bit fuzzy, that now. To
right.
perfectly recall and give a full opinion on it, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
They came up with Kurt Angle.
Alright, yeah.
That, what they said, the reason they would have picked him was he comes in around the time just before Austin gets hit, so the timeline matches. And then it makes sense he gets rid of Austin because it's Kurt Angle and he just wants to make his way slowly to the top to get the gold. It makes complete and utter and he does it at a time when there's other people in heat with Austin, so it looks like it's them and they're investigated. It would have made complete sense for Kurt Angle. Wouldn't have affected his character. Would have elevated him a bit. No, Rikishi. For The Rock. Which I think they even retconned and said The Rock didn't know about it in the end. They retconned it a few weeks later and went, The Rock, we said The Rock knew, he didn't know.
Then what's the point?
Yeah. It's just bizarre. I'm trying to think. What have you been any matches you've watched recently where...
I've just been really enjoying House of Black, to be honest.
They are fucking good.
Buddy Matthews has come in and I just love
Malachi Black.
Brody King's Tiger Driver, the power bomb.
Yeah.
Like what's it now? It's like a pile driver, but starts on the top, and how high he jumps to then do the pile driver, it just looks like it's going to shatter anybody. It's it's just really interesting.
I like watching Brody King fucking cannonball.
Yeah.
Like, that is a huge
like
body
Owens,
of weight.
It's like the same kind of like... Brody King's just released a documentary on YouTube that's really good. It's about 15 minutes long. But yeah, just search it, just watch it, and it's like you watch it and think, oh, damn. Yeah, he's worked hard for it.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And he's in a band as well.
Is
Pretty
he?
cool. God's Hate.
Really cool.
God's Hate.
That's a good name for that.
Yeah, just, straight up hardcore band. He just looks scary as hell. He's the front man. So, yeah, just big tattooed hardcore dude just screaming at people, yeah.
I'm always annoyed that I really like Malachi Black's music. I think the song's either by or the song is called Ogden Trust or something like that. But when I find it on Spotify, it's a 10-minute long song and it's like 8 minutes of intro and atmosphere. It's like, no, I want to just kick in when the fucking entrance kicks in.
And that is... I was just watching an interview about it. It's something to do with his eye.
I love that makeup.
Yeah, but
that's my next cosplay, by the way. I'm definitely going to be Malachi Black.
His theme song is related to
the eye makeup.
The eye makeup and the whole story, the whole backstory. I can't quite remember exactly what or where it is, but everything.
Is that on any kind of documentary where people can find that out?
Just on YouTube, just
fact, to Google Malachi's eye.
It's just a recent interview, like a few weeks ago.
Right. Okay.
I think Barstool Wrestling or something like that.
Okay.
It's Barstool something. Not a big fan of the other Barstool stuff. It's not great, but this bit is really interesting because the guy's done his research and starts talking to him, and he's really impressed with it. So it's a good interview. So
no, I have been liking House of Black. House of Black, actually, there's a little part of me where I feel like they're jumping about a bit, and they need a bit of like. I liked it when Malachi had Cody in his sights. That was a really good run. And then they've just kind of been jumping between. Then they went for the Death Triangle, and then they've gone for the Hollywood Blondes. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, but
and then they've gone now recently for Fuego del Sol and the Dark Order.
that the Hollywood Blondes, it's kind of sort of going back to it because
she's still the cheerleader girl. There is going to be something coming from that.
Yeah,
I can tell the building slowly on that, but I feel like I need them to have a little bit more push, a bit more of a direction. That's all. Because watching Malachi versus Cody was like this kind of Joker Batman thing that I really enjoyed.
Again, it's that.
It's a bit Undertaker Mankind.
Yeah, going back to our last episode when I was talking about tag teams and John Moxley and Bryan Danielson, how it's still in its infancy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's like
What
it's one of them that
to.
it's one of because I've seen a few matches with when it was Tommy End and Brody King in Ring of Honor, and it's just really good. The chemistry team is just like Big Bruiser and martial arts guy, just really good matches. So
I like how I feel like this is the House of Black is full now. Maybe they might bring the girl in, but I feel like this is it. Yeah. And I like how they know everyone learns from NWO when to shut the fucking door.
And for me, Dark Order as well. I feel Dark Order is like a bit of a joke. It's that big.
Dark Order had its moment. It did its job.
Yeah.
It's now just kind of like fan service in the sense that can't get rid of Evil Udo or Number 10 or any of them.
That's what I mean.
I literally scream at the telly Johnny Hungy when he comes out. I fucking love him.
Yeah, he's but they all seem from what it was. See, because I started watching AEW after Brody passed. I feel like they're too much of a comedy
act now compared to
be called the Dark Order.
I know, but I feel like when they were if you go back and watch the original, when they were the Dark Order, it doesn't work as serious because I actually don't know really why they did it, but it comes off as ridiculous as in WWE when they had the zombies invade. Did you see that? You're not familiar with this? So sometime over lockdown, there was a match with... Oh no,
was it through lockdown?
It was through lockdown.
With
all the TV screens. And one of the matches...
I bet, you know...
It's got... I think it was either Alexa...
you just hear...
all these zombies came out and started attacking the people who were wrestling, and the commentators even say, Michael Cole's like, the zombies coming out.
COVID zombies.
Yeah. But it's talk about bad taste.
The corpses of COVID.
Yeah. But for some reason, like, apparently in the WWE universe, zombies exist. And they came out and did that. And it kind of comes across like that in this, we are so dark and evil, it's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
And evil.
That's
why they brought in Brody.
The whole Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail.
As the Avatar, yeah. It's a bit like that. It might have been that. But Brody was brought in because they realised, shit, we fucked it up. We've made it too ridiculous. So Brody's brought in to be the head of it.
Yeah.
And he is so ominous and serious, it kind of grounded it back to where it was. And then they've had a dead good run.
Saying that now makes it a bit more sense of why they are like that now, that they're just kind of a bit of mishmash
of all these crazy shit. Yeah. Because it's kind of honouring his legacy of him, and they just keep them around. Because, I think people will be pissed off if they left. I'm pissed off. Are you familiar that the Inner Circle's gone now? Yeah. Yeah. And now you have the Jericho Appreciation Society, which I feel Jericho's done to go a bit full inner circle here, to go, fuck you, Cody. Because his whole thing is, we're going to be sports entertainers, not pro wrestlers.
Oh, yeah, I never even thought of it as a...
I feel like he's gone, all right, Cody, is that what you want to be, a sports... Because didn't Vince McMahon tweet something like, why would you want to be a pro wrestler when you could come to WWE and be a sports entertainer? He tweeted something like that. And I'm pretty sure someone from AEW, one of the higher-ups, went, because I want to be a fucking pro wrestler, you dickhead.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think Jericho's gone with that and gone, You know what?
This'll annoy people.
Yeah, and it worked. He came out, and there was still like people on the fence, 50-50, some still cheering, and he went, I'm going to be a sports entertainer, and everyone booed.
Yeah, he was like, yep, got it.
Yeah, as usual, just
yeah.
plugs right into the heart of the masses,
Yeah,
knows how to rile them up.
On the list.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about that whole turn was he kind of like, he scrubbed away months of story because he had a rivalry with 2.0 and with, what's his name? The other member of Red Death. When he's involved, it's 2.0 and this one guy is called Red Death. And there was months of story of them attacking Jericho and even hitting him with a chair and knocking him out for months. And now they've all just gone, oh, we're friends. They appreciate me because I helped them. I brought them in. I did a podcast with him and I did that. And I go, yeah, but what about all that shit that just happened? I'm not saying you don't have history with them.
To be fair, with the Jericho Appreciation Society, I'm more bothered about Jake Hagar's ring attire. Just the really ill-fitting sweatpants.
I mean, he's always wore ill-fitting shit.
But no, he was fine as Jack Swagger in the singlet. Like, it wasn't the best singlet, but he looked fine and he pulled it off.
That's the weirdest sentence I've ever heard. It wasn't the best singlet.
Yeah. It wasn't the polka dots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what kind of where it was going,
Yeah.
like, it wasn't... But, yeah, just...
Oh, fucking hell. Fashionista over here. It wasn't the best singlet, but... Interesting to see where it goes. I have a weird feeling he's gonna mirror and take the piss out of Cody a bit.
Yeah.
And WWE as a whole. Because Jericho is happy to burn all them bridges. That's why he did Dark Side of the fucking Ring. He doesn't give a shit who he pisses off. He's just his own force now. Doesn't care. But, hey-ho. It's time to stop the damn match.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I'm sure at the time of us releasing this, more stuff will have happened, and I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point. But yeah, thank you again for listening. Don't forget to email. What's the email?
Kickout2podcast@gmail.com.
Email us with stuff you want to ask us, stuff you want to hear us talk about, and yeah, or just to give us thumbs up or thumbs downs. But yeah, thanks for listening. I've been Jay.
I've been PK.
And it's time to stop the fucking damn match.